Hey Charleston, John Crompton here, your trusted realtor with the Boulevard Company. I wanted to give you guys a recap of what we saw happen in 2025, where we may be going in 2026, and what holds for the Charleston real estate market. So stay tuned and we'll get to those numbers and a little bit of where we are going. Now, we did see a sales price increase of 3.2% on the average. That means we are pretty much in a very stable real estate market comparative to the rest of the country. Our prices have not gone down with the interest rate spike of 2022, 2023. We still have a lot of people moving in from out of area, so our sales price is still healthy. It's good to see a 3.2% appreciation and not a 15% appreciation like we saw in 21, 22. So those are good, healthy numbers, stabilizing our market. We're not seeing swings in prices skyrocketing. So I guess if you bought a home in the last year, it went up 3.2% as an average for the Charleston market. So now we did also continue to see our days on market increase. They went down to historic lows in the 22s, 21. We're on our way back to what I would say is a little bit normal. We're a little higher though than expected in this kind of time frame. We're at 50 days on average would take your home to go from listing to contract in the Charleston market. Still very healthy, under 2 months. Before COVID, it was about 65 days, so we're heading back into that trajectory there. So just be aware that it's going to take a little longer for some of your homes to sell. Inventory also increased. We saw it go up about 25% from the start of 2025 to the end. We saw about 3.5 months of inventory, still very healthy. You know, historically, I like to think a 4-month market is a balanced market. What they tell us is a 6-month market is a balanced market. I just feel if we had 6 months of inventory, it would feel more like a buyer's market than a seller's market. So we're in a very stable market when it comes to inventory, our sales price, and our days on market. So it's a good things to head into 2026. Now, some things people don't talk about, and that is the average list price to sales price. Now, we did see that go down. It went down about 0.5% over the last 12 months. We are at 96% of list price to sales price. So sellers, be aware there are negotiations being had. Buyers, be aware there are negotiations being had. Some properties are going to have multiple offers still. Some properties are going to sit for a little bit longer. So just kind of get with your agent and gauge which one's a good activity or a good home to kind of, make offers on. So there is negotiations happen. Not everybody is paying full price. They are still happening with multiple offers at some places. Just be aware of your micro market. Now, 2025, like 24 and 23, were down markets. And what I mean by a down market, it doesn't necessarily mean that prices have gone down. It just means conditions were down. And we were at some of the lowest level of home sales we've seen nationwide in a very, very long time. They're talking like back to 1996. Now, what we saw in Charleston was a little bit better than that, and yet we were still down. Our peak of contract writing in 22, we were at 24,000 closed homes. We saw about 17,000 closed homes in 2025, just maybe a little bit over that. So just be aware that we've lost a huge amount of activity when it comes to closings. 23 and 24 were the lowest we've seen in a long time, almost like 4.1 million nationwide sold. We were up 1.8% over last year's number. So we were on this slow dive and we've been just kind of skipping along a bottom. And I'm hoping we're going to start to see a little increase as we see interest rates go down, as we see prices stabilize, as we see more people hopefully get into the housing market this spring. The spring will be the telltale sign. I am very cautiously optimistic about this year going forward. Last year was a tough year, but a very, very good year nonetheless. Sold some good homes, had some good clients, and anticipate that happening going forward for this year. And already out the gate in 2026, we're starting with 2 really good listings under contract and 2 listings on the market with a lot of showing activity, which wasn't there months ago. So we're starting to see spring market maybe a little sooner. So if you're thinking about selling a home, reach out to me. If you're thinking about buying a home, reach out to me. I would love to give you the ins and outs of all of that. Until then, take care, guys. Happy 2026. Let's go.